Who's leading, you or me?
You go ahead.
Okay. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Thank you for tuning to another episode. It's been a minute, but we're back at you. Start the Monday off right. John, how you been?
I'm great. How's everybody been out there? You know,
Hopefully everybody's
summertime, 90-degree weather. I'm about to go on my for my job. They sent me on a vacation.
Really?
So I'm about to go to Dallas for a couple days.
So they sent you on training, but like that's how black people look at it as vacation. What they gonna have you doing?
I'm going to a seminar or whatever like that.
How many days?
3, 2. Well, one day of the seminar, but I fly out the day before and come back the day after.
Okay. Are you getting paid anything extra for it, or it's just like you have you been to Dallas before?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Let me know how it is. I'm actually thinking about moving to Dallas, but hopefully all works
Shout
well.
out Texas.
Good. Shout out to you and congratulations on like continuing to move up. So you know.
Thank you. You know, I'm trying to be out here like you. So what's on today's topic?
So I was looking through Instagram and I actually came across this one show called Today's Conversation Cards. Great podcast. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you go log into Instagram, check them out, show them some love and like their videos. But basically, I came across this this topic called "Should You Date Potential?"
That's a great question. From my personal experience, I believe I have only dated potential. Mm-hmm. My kind of personality.
Wait, why do you say you only dated potential?
I'm gonna break it down. Me as my zodiac's a Virgo, so I've been getting in my astrology bag, right? Mm-hmm. And then me as a person, I like helping people, right? So I always see like potential in people, and I feel like all they need is like that extra step, that extra push, or whatever. And I'm like a good person to help push that person. Mm-hmm. And for whatever the reason, they just never met that potential.
And that's the thing. I think I understand where you're coming from. I think that's sometimes what we get caught up in too much. But I'm gonna go back to your statement in the middle where you say you only dated potential up until now. But I think sometimes we get caught up on so much on the possibilities of someone becoming something and what they could be, instead of just looking at it because the person hasn't wanted it for themselves. Fact. And you can want it all. It's just like, for your child, where it's just like you see so much potential in your child, but you can, be on them so much. But if they don't want it for themselves or anybody you're dealing with, what point does it make? You put more energy into something than what they put into it.
And that was a hard lesson for me to learn. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like the whole you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
Exactly.
So that's just a hard thing because like you just know like they're not that far away from the goal, right? It's like you just tweak one or two things, they'll be good. But one thing that I had to come, content with is if they're content wherever they're at in life, you just got to be happy for them for where they're at, whether you want more or not.
Yeah. So going back to when you say you've only dated potential up until now. So like, is that kind of saying like your exes and such?
All of them.
You saw potential in them, like they just never met the potential that you saw in them, or they did meet it, but then they kind of backtracked to the old ways.
Yeah, both, right? Like how they say like you get like flashes or whatever, so they might do it for whatever reason, and most of the reasons like if they wanted something, you know what I'm saying? If they wanted to, go to a Beyonce concert or something like that,
they'll make it happen.
They'll make it happen. But they was like, yo, I want like a new car. They would never, you know what I'm saying, just be able to do it for whatever the reason was. So it was like they'll show flashes of like that next step. They're like taking 2 steps forward and then like 3 steps back. So it's just like over time, that snowball effects. You know what I'm saying?
So how do you date now moving forward? Like, do you consider that potential at all when you consider a mate?
Potential, I'm not gonna say I rule out potential. I'll say I need more results shown.
You need to see the progression.
No, I need to see, like where you was, because you're gonna talk and vibe with the person. They might say, hey, I used to be homeless or something. Now I own a bakery or something. You know what I'm saying? And so you see the progress, right? And you also see what they have. Materialistic things. I'm not a materialistic person, but just certain steps in life that shows where a person is. Like, do they have a house? Do they live at home with their mother? Are they walking by choice? Do they not have a car by choice? You know what I'm saying? Certain things, how they feel about, I think even conversations will show what kind of like mind frame they are. So before, I was a lot like, oh, all I do is teach you this, and as soon as you learn it, you be good, instead of the mind frame like, oh, you already know how to do this, let me just enhance that.
Right. So I think for me, like if I was younger, I probably wouldn't be so fixed on that, like focused on actually seeing the effort. Like when I was younger, I didn't pay attention to those things. So when you date, when you're younger, it's just like, okay, I see this person, again, like has potential to become better. But I think like the issue that we make as women is we hope too much, And that's where like we go wrong, where we're hoping that
Yes.
okay, well later on this person's gonna actually do better. Like if I'm younger, right, and I meet this guy, I'm like, okay, well he's actually smart, in math, and like he may be a drug dealer. And he's good at numbers, but he's a drug dealer. And I'm just like, oh well, he could be,
Really just good at crime.
right. He could be a financial advisor if he wanted to, but he chose to do something else with that knowledge. I'm like, okay, well, if I stick with him a little longer.
Throw a curveball into the woman aspect of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was on Instagram and I saw it's like a famous preacher, like a white older lady, like, really popular out there.
Yeah.
So basically, it was like a joke about women. I might have sent it to you. I'm not sure. So basically, I'm gonna run through it real fast. She was like, "Hey, there's like a husband store, right?
Husband store? What's that?
A husband store. Like imagine a store.
Oh, like you just go pick your husband?
Exactly, right? You go pick a husband, go build a husband.
Wouldn't that be
right?
nice?
So she said it was 6 floors, right? So the first floor is like a good man. Second floor, a good man that cooks. A good man. Third floor, good man that cooks, clean, help with bills. So each floor it goes up higher, right? So more potential. So she reached the 5th floor. Good man, cooks, take care of the kids, blase blase. So she was like, you know what? I just gotta see. If I got all this, I gotta see what the 6th floor is, right? So she hits the 6th floor, and there's a sign that basically says, "You are like the 340th woman who met this, came to this floor, and there's no man here." And basically, you can't go back down.
Oh,
so
really?
It's like, basically, what?
We're trying to get that perfect man.
Exactly. So how do you? Let me ask you, because I do feel like sometimes women are unsatisfied in a sense, right? So how do you know the difference between like potential and you wanting more?
I mean, you always you want more. Wait, how do I know the difference between potential and you want
so
more?
like basically like let's say like how we said the different levels, right? So let's just say you got like a level 3 man, right? Where he's a good man, he may cook and help you take care of the kids or something, right? So you could be like, damn, this is a good nigga, I could stay right here. But you could potentially see that level 3 or 4 and 5 in him, right? So you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like you may want more out of him, or
like, do we settle for the level 3, or do we push? Do we date
5?
them based off of what I believe they could reach?
Right, and does that play a factor in it as far as like, dang? So does that play a factor in it? So once you see potential in somebody and they don't reach it, how do you feel about it? Like if you're dating them?
I used to see, I'm older now, I'm in my 30s, so I don't have, as much time,
Right.
so like that's how I used to move when I was younger, and then based on experiences, I pay more attention now, I need to actually see it, like people love to talk about themselves. Sometimes we hype ourselves. Sometimes we know our potential, but again, it's all just words. Like we're not actually doing it, so.
Yeah, I say a lot of people have a lot of self-evaluation, and not a lot of people like the outside looking in.
Yeah.
So your self-perspective through outside perspective, and I feel like when you are only listening to yourself and you're only rating yourself and you're your only judgment of self, it could be detrimental. You know what I'm saying? Because of course, you're not gonna make yourself feel bad. You're gonna think everything you do is good because you know the work that you put in that you may felt like was enough. But on the outside looking in, somebody's like, hey, you could work a little harder to reach that next step. And self-motivation is a big key.
Yeah. I mean, it's key, but you gotta kind of like see, your flaws and be able to stop and say, okay, well, what good? You gotta realize when you are just talking and you're not carrying through with any actions. But more so, like if I met somebody tomorrow, I don't mind being a friend, because like that's the thing we talk about dating, right? I can be your friend. And while I'm your friend and getting to know you, that doesn't mean that we're actually, in a relationship or anything.
Okay.
I'm going to monitor certain things about you. So I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I hear you hype yourself. I actually see the potential in you. But I'm going to give it a little bit of time, and I need to see small steps to reaching that potential. If I don't see it, then we'll never make it to dating.
Let me throw a curveball. You could throw the same question back the other way, right? But let's say as the woman, right? As the backbone to said man, right? What do you feel like as somebody partner, that if they don't reach their potential, some of that plays a part of you, like you didn't help them get there, or does that make sense? Do you ever blame yourself for any of that?
No, I don't. Like we're grown.
Okay.
Whatever. And then, like I tell my nieces and nephews, like I say y'all grow up in the same household.
Right.
If one child grows up and makes something themselves and others don't, that is on you. It's the choices that you make.
Right.
You understand? So you shouldn't need me to help you reach your potential. Now, I can help you see it.
What if
you understand?
What if I needed you? All right, let me give you an example, right? So how we was talking about, like, let's say I was dating a girl and I wanted to put up a nice background like that, right? And I'm like, I'm about to make it as a podcaster, right? And she, for whatever reason, don't see the vision. You might be the extra push I needed to make it, right? So I might, if the whole world's doubting me, my girl is about to fire me back up to stay motivated to do it. So if you maybe didn't give that kind of fire or motivation to your man, maybe he didn't reach his potential because of the lack of support. Does that make sense?
The lack of support, should I say? Yeah, I don't know. Like, is there another way, like, to reach it without me? Like, I don't mind supporting them, when it comes to certain things, but I'm not gonna make myself uncomfortable trying to support someone else.
Okay.
But also, again, like, if you want it bad enough, right?
Yeah,
I feel like you'll kind of work it out. Like,
I feel like
it helps.
I feel like everybody needs somebody, right? In any kind. If you look at anybody at the top, right? I believe in a team, right? Whether it's somebody plays a big part or somebody plays a small part, right? Like, somebody saying, like, "Hey, I'm proud of you," could have been that person motivation to keep going, right? Somebody just saying, "Hey, I see what you're doing," could have been that motivation. So I'm not saying you have to go and cheerlead and be at every game, or, you know what I'm saying, like that. But are you at least supporting, even if you don't believe?
I'm supportive of, everybody in my circle. If I try to see the vision, and even if I don't see the vision, I normally don't tell them. I just kind of sit back,
right.
Tell them they could do it, and then wait until, they see progression or they don't see progression, and maybe tell them a better way they could do it. Right. But either way, I feel like we need to be more healthy for ourselves. So, like, again, the healthiest thing for you is for you to know what it is you want and know your potential and know the steps that you need to take to get it. What if you're dating a woman and you break up with her, right? Are you not gonna reach your potential because she left? Like, no. It has to be on you.
Yeah, no, I believe you definitely gotta whatever your goals are, right? One thing people say about me, what I'm learning, I like to do a lot of, like, ask surveys to add who I like, my personality, right? So, oh man, I lost that whole train of thought right there.
Water threw you off.
Self-evaluation. I completely what I was going to say about myself.
All right, hold that thought. Maybe it'll come back to it.
It might come back.
But
for just dating potential in general, I just think I'm personally over it. I just need to see, like, more results. For, like, the lane, because everybody, I feel like nobody's like a bad person intentionally, right? I basically look at it like, if it doesn't work out, you're on just two different pages. You know what I'm saying? They're not bad, you're not bad. It don't always have to be a bad guy in it, right? Like we said, you can't force them to see it, and they might feel the same way about you. You know what I'm saying? And it really, like you said, it got to be on you, and you got to go for it. So that's mostly how I am now.